My mother and I never speak about my father. I grew up thinking she hated me because I reminded her of him. She would snap every time she pictured him through my eyes, and her lens could never see past the past she refuses to flesh. Beg. But I'm an old gallery of my father's painting. We've used the dust from his memory to bury ourselves in forgetting. Her tears have watered the grass that grows upon this grave. Brave are the elders, exhuming his remains and hiding his collage behind my eyelids. They frame their hollow words of conviction behind my back. He looks like his father. But my mother raised me to never talk back. See, her father was a proud man, and so am I. But if I could talk back, I would tell them that father is a message bottle lost at sea. A wish upon a star would plug on my daughter's forehead when I'm proud of her. Father is a fragile promise those that govern cannot deliver, not in this century. Father is a John Doe finding his final resting place in the mortuary. Father is penitentiary. For I'm locked as a child born out of wedlock. There is no escaping this. Father is a nomad. A pilgrim that time ticks but never talks about his whereabouts. He's jumped off the cliff of our lips, so we kept him in exile. I have heard tales of these wind-blown mystical creatures. Unicorn, Pegasus, sea serpents, trolls, ghouls, dragons, pixies, werewolves, and fathers. The illusion of splendor. Cinderella men that vanish at midnight's mishaps, leaving glass children hostage and hostile at doorsteps. They would be cradling fantasies of fathers that will return with bags full of time to atone for time. But many a man will walk through this door, claiming space in the name of his absence. My mother has said vows to silence. We've both turned a blind eye to this striking resemblance. They say the son will carry the sins of his father. I'm trying to sprout my wings, but her heart is heavy. We visit his tombstone every time we look at me. The mirror is my cemetery, to mirror the symmetry of their words. He looks like his father. But the further time moves away from him, the farther these fairy tales just become forgotten tales. Prince Charming will never return to kiss the sleepy mother from her living nightmares. She keeps teaching me how to count, myself amongst the lucky ones, because somewhere out there, there is a man just behind the door in masonry, a three-headed dragon, dragging the women and children into his arson and misery. His house is on fire. He's known to hold everything but himself back. The neighbors are listening but playing dead like possum. Another is a gardener picking young girls' flowers before they could even blossom. Forget about what you see in the movies and posters. Our children have begun believing in real monsters. These mystical creatures you call father have driven themselves into extinction and spat in the face of creation. On the seventh day, God was resting, tossing and turning over the becoming of the unbecoming. Pray to the graffiti painted in the stars for signs of the second coming. To father these children who choke on their fathers' names and their mothers who cremate memories by bursting into flames. But I have learned to roll down to the peak of from a peak of a peaky mountain that grows apple trees, where the clouds hide our fathers' faces between silent words like apostrophes, and they will build libraries of ancient future war stories of how our mothers have soldiered on. Their hearts' wastelands, landmines were built upon, exploding into tears every time a bastard child is born. The smoke signals galaxies to return to human form and draw these fathers into images of great kings, great men are from. But where I'm from, our mothers have become fluent at not speaking about our fathers. And this spitting image will never heal the silence that plagues the room. Because bastard children are walking grievance letters not known addressed to whom. We dwell amongst you untraced. I know a fish that knows how to swim is not to be praised. But every breath is a thank you letter to a mother that raised a bastard child.